little stars, and welcome back to Underfell. This by here is the Grillby route. So, first of all, I want to clarify a couple of things. I have gone ahead and put us at the point where we should, in theory, be able to get to Grillby's route, because this is the first time you ever meet Grillby's in Snowden. So, what have I done this far? We have, of course, traversed through the ruins. We met Mama. We did get a stick from Greater Dog. I helped all the residents in Snowden. We did pass Papyrus's test. And Sans wasn't asked to me. Sans does not like me at all. And I haven't flirted with anyone. So, we'll see what happens when we go into Grillby's. I want to also clarify the little sprite you're seeing here, or little doodle thing. I actually made this myself. I went to Vic the Underfella's actual Tumblr, and I took a look at the actual canon Grillby ref, and then I drew from that a version of him. So it turns out in the actual canon original version before I went to the community, in that version that Vic made, Grillby has two forms. He has a daytime form that is green. It's got green flames that looks like the girl flamed monster. And then you have this version that is the purple flame that comes out at night. He normally is at the bar at nighttime, and this is the version you'll see. This one here, as I said, this is more closely based on the one that Vic has a ref of. Future Twinkle here with a fun fact for those that are curious. The green version is Grillby when he's working, and the purple version is him after hours. So yeah, the more you know. So this bit here will only focus on scenes with Grillby, or scenes that are different from any of the other routes I've covered. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this. There's going to be a couple of jumps here and there, but yeah, hope it makes sense and hope you enjoy. Either way, I have put us by here. As I said, I went through everything, got the necessary items, we even got the chain, and hopefully we can figure out how to do Grillby's route and not mess it up. But yes, here's when we first meet Grillby, I think, or at least technically this has to be where we meet him. It's the bar. This is where Grillby is. You notice a bar at the far end of the village named Grillby's. You go inside. You step inside and are immediately greeted by warm air, the smell of greasy food, and loud chatter. The loud chatter that immediately dies as soon as you step inside. There are dozens of monsters in the bar, each of them wearing a uniform vaguely similar to Papyrus. Oh no. You're a fucking dumbass, aren't you? Laughs Sans from the bar. You are so rude, Sans. You entered a bar filled with the royal guards. Really? You don't have a chance to respond because one of the dog guards throws an axe the size of you right at your head. It splits your head open in one clean swipe. You have died. It was an accident. Oh, Sans, I hope you choke on your mustard in this playthrough. In the corner of your eye, you see something bright that catches your attention. We've never had that before. You turn your head to look. You see a monster in the shape of a man step out the side of Grillby's. The monster is made of purple flame. We've got him. We found Grillby. Okay, he's made of a purple flame with a magenta center. The flame's dark near the end, and you can kind of remember seeing the monster in the back of Grillby's right before you took an axe to the face. The monster stepped out into the small alleyway where you previously helped carry the drunken dog monster home. You can have a better look at him now. He's wearing a black suit, pants, and a dark jacket with a white furry hood lining. Ah, dang it. I need to update this so he has the fluff. It looks similar to Sans. It looks like he's searching for something. If judging by the way his head swerves left to right is an indication, you start to walk over to him, curious if he needs help. Please don't go near the fire monster, Flowey whimpers. You reassure him the two of you will be okay. Oh, but you'll be hot enough when we reach Hotland, Flowey says. Everything will be fine. You approach the monster with a smile on your face, and he turns his head to look at you. You don't see a mouth, but he does have narrowing dark blue eyes. It's hard to tell if he's glaring at you or if that's how he normally looks. You offer your help. The monster looks down at you. You smile up at him. He cocks his head to the side. A white light slowly cracks through the bottom of his face. A mouth is formed. He asks you, "Did you see a dog?" Oh wow, that is a voice. That is a very, very nice voice. Oh my god. It's a soft murmur with a warm crackling underneath it. It's not a voice of a human throat could ever generate, and hearing it soothes you the same way standing next to a campfire soothes a pyromaniac. Wow, how romantic. A pyromaniac. What the hell? What a way to describe that. So in other words, Willow from Don't Stop together. Okay, oh my god, you are determined. You want to smooch the monster. Won't you burn yourself if you do? Oh well. You're happy to give the monster good news. You did, in fact, see your dog, and you helped him home. You pointed in the direction you carried the dog monster home. The monster's eyes narrow into slits. His mouth disappears into his purple flames. The two of you continue to stare at one another for several seconds. Okay. He's hot. Pun practically intended. He's definitely hot. His colours are mesmerising to look at. Although there is a polite distance between the two of you, you can feel the warmth of his fire tickle against your skin. You subconsciously shuffle closer, which is understandable. The environment is cold. You're outside in snowing. Of course you're going to want to go near the fire, even if you're going to risk getting burnt. He reacts by shuffling away from you. You apologise, but he waves you off. He turns around and immediately heads back inside. Rude, mutters Flowey. Linger. I'm curious about something. Why was he looking for that dog? You stay put and stare at the alleyway door to enter Grillby's. What are you waiting for? Asks Flowey. Something. Like what? You shrug. Flowey rests his head on his shoulders. Okay. Let's just keep waiting and see what happens. You count the minutes. When you get to 7, the door reopens. Oh, Grillby came back. The flame monster looks down at you. He creates his mouth again. A part of it is curled up to the sides in a half-smirk, half-smile manner. He leans closer to you. His voice a soft, warm purr as he goes, good girl. Oh my god, what? Oh dear. Well then, I was not expecting that, but okay, thank you so much. I guess he's happy I stayed put and I didn't wander away. Oh, your face feels warm from his proximity. You're not confident it's exclusively from his flames. He pulls away, the snowed-in air notably colder than before. He holds out a mug of something to you. It's a large mug filled with thick brown liquid. On top of the liquid are a few white a rectangle. Oh, it's hot chocolate and with marshmallows. Oh, that's so nice of him. Thank you for not giving us booze. You happily accept the mug. It's definitely warm in your cold hands. The monster places a hand at the top of the mug. His amethyst-coloured flames gently burn the marshmallows. When he pulls his hand away, you are perfectly toasted mallows now. You take your first sip. The monster seems amused by your reaction. He says, if you were a dog, your tail would be wagging. Very true. You thank him for the hot chocolate. He chuckles. The colours of his flames brighten. You gulp down the hot chocolate. Its warmth seeps through you with each swallow. It's the perfect blend of dark chocolate bitterness with milky sweetness. Oh my goodness. You always love it but you think this is the best one you've ever had. When you finish, the monster takes the mug back. His flame flickers outwards and grazes across your fingers, and the heat tickles you. Both of your hands are lingering. He looks up at the monster and you smile. His eyes crease upwards. His mouth is gone, so you can't see his smile, but you get the impression he's pleased with you. He walks back inside. Worth the wait? Asks Flowey. You lick your lips of any remaining hot chocolate. Definitely. Oh my. Well then. Okay. I'm intrigued. Dang it, I want to talk with him more. I love that interaction with him. Gosh darn. Okay. So, at this point, how are you shaping so far? You are a woman. You fell into Underfell while in a black sweater with 2 purple stripes. It is long enough to cover your butt, and you're wearing a skirt with boots. You have a beautiful violet eyes and a charming purple soul. You gave Tori a hug before you left the ruins. I'm sure she hasn't forgotten your kindness. When meeting Papyrus for the first time, you immediately thought he looks cool, unlike his brother who's being an ass. You completed the maze on your first try. Way to go. You died 10 times. You could have died less, but that's okay. At least the next area will be warmer. Your poor toils can finally have a break. You have a stick? Wonder what that could mean. You still have a mysterious chain and it looks important. What do you think it is for? Shine will remember your song and you saved a child. What a hero. Hope you get your hands treated soon. You're currently romancing the fire monster. Hot stuff. You'll hold your hands close to your chest. Welcome. We are now about to enter the core. Maybe we'll see Grillby there. I'm not sure. There is a chance we'll see Grillby. I might not actually have to change the sprite on this either. I can probably just keep it here. Either way, let's see if we're going to find Grillby here. You enter the core. It feels nice when you enter it. Oh my, that is nice. It's neither too hot nor too cold. It's a pleasant temperature. When you enter the core city entrance through the double doors, it's so lovely that it brings an immediate smile to your face. Your tootsies can finally catch a break, and your poor dried skin weeps joy from no longer being in that lava cave. There is a glistening fountain at the entrance with some monsters mingling around it, and the ground is paved with well-maintained purple brick road. There are street lights all over, each casting a soft violet-red glow. A glance up shows a tall, very tall ceiling, and what looks to be hanging houses. You can see monsters with wings flying up to the buildings. Some of them have feathery wings, some of them have insect wings, and you can even see a beautiful pair of butterfly wings that leave behind a dusty trail with each flap. The first building you see is something with a sign that reads MTT Resort and Spa. The brick road splits off on the right and the left side of the building, where you see even more buildings. You can't get a good look at all of them yet. It definitely feels like you entered a city in a cave, a magical city. There are many, many monsters around than at Snowdon. You see them coming and going down the pass. Groups of them rotating in and out of the MTT Resort and Spa. This reminds you of people, regular people going about their day. Perhaps they're on their way to work, home, or to meet up with friends. For the first time since starting your journey, there is no silence. You hear people, monsters, talking, laughing, and swearing. You hear shouting, yelling, screaming, and everything in between. You see teenagers jostling and heckling one another. Regularly. You want to say it's nice. You want to say it makes you happy. It almost does, but you've been here too long enough, and you know better. If you compare what you see with what you see in the human city, the difference is palpable. They laugh because they have to. Again, you think to yourself how frustrating it must be. There's no real wind here. The air is stagnant. There's no sunlight, and the atmosphere is cold and disquiet. There is no freedom. Everyone and everything is restricted. The city is as charming as it is stifling. The air is stale, well-worn and used. The city is duly coloured and endlessly repeat of purple, red and black. There are no vents, no sewer systems, and you doubt it rains here. It is a magical city filled with powerful monsters who breathe wonders and magic. But it is also a sad city filled with trapped people who have not seen a sunrise in centuries. You were told this world was kill or be killed. You don't believe that's necessary. The barrier stays by their own design. They can choose to be free, but are they aware they have the choice? You see someone familiar to you, a monster made of purple flames. You can't help but you smile as you speed walk over to him. Hello. The monster is looking at the shop window. He turns his head when you approach. His deep blue eyes narrow briefly, then relax when he recognizes you. He cocks his head to acknowledge you. You thank him again for the hot chocolate. His shoulder barely lifts up in a shrug. He turns to the back of the shop window, a white line forming on his face as he creates his mouth to say, Wick told me about you. You smile at the mention of the monster child you met. You should have known the two were related. The monster of flame turns around to face you fully, and he holds out a hand to you. You accept his hand. Grillby, he says. You introduce yourself. My, what do we have here? Coos a metallic voice. You and Grillby turn to look at the new voice. Mettaton, not now. I'm busy trying to get with this freaking flame man. Go away. I would like to have alone time with him, not to have TV time with you. Come on. The monster speaking looks like a humanoid robot. He has black hair that's been greased back, 2 pairs of yellow eyes and 2 sets of arms. He's wearing neon pink high knee-high spandex boots with heels and black spiked pants. He has tall black shoulder pads and he wears neon pink and yellow gloves and has a broken heart belt around his waist. His smile is wide and reminds you of how news anchors smile on TV. Not sincere, but not me neither. I hope I'm not interrupting something, asked the monster with a wide smile. Yes, you are. You're interrupting me trying to woo a flame man. Go away. You and Grillby glance at each other. It's surprising that Grillby hasn't made any effort to refute. Shuffle closer to Grillby. The first time you moved closer to Grillby, the fire monster had stepped away. He doesn't this time. He's close enough to you that the flames from the back of his hand flicker out and tickle against yours. It's delightfully warm, as it was last time. The monster looks gleefully smug. Isn't that interesting? I kind of look like a little puppy, literally hugging the back of Grillby, whimpering. That's pretty much what I'm imagining. Our character's literally behind him, and to Grillby, he's it's like a little small puppy, just frightened, doesn't want to go near the new person, doesn't trust the new smell. You ask the monster what it wants from you. To talk, of course. The robotic monster's smile stretches. Mostly with you, darling human, but your friend is welcome to come along. Talk, reassures the monster. You hesitate. You don't want to drag Grillby into something if he doesn't. You suddenly feel hot pressure on the lower of your back, as if someone's pressing a hot rock into your skin. You flinch in surprise, but you soon relax when you notice that it's Grillby's hand on your back. The flame monster stares silently at you. A smile pulls at your lips. Well, if he wants to come along, you aren't going to say no. You agree as long as the monster won't mind introducing himself first. Of course, darling, I'm Mettaton, the star of Underfell. Oh my goodness, of course. Why am I not surprised with Mettaton? Mettaton, of course, guides you to that tall building with the bright pink neon sign once more that reads MTT. There are framed pictures of Mettaton on each signpost, and even a statue of his likeness is built next to another statue of a square robot with 4 arms. You are whisked inside. The air is chillier than outside, but it's also much brighter. You become accustomed to the comfortably dimmed streetlights, so the bright white lights inside momentarily blind you, which is pretty hard to believe that they blind you, considering that we're hanging out with Grillby. You blink several times to help your violet eyes adjust. Mettaton doesn't wait for you to adapt. He continues to usher you inside with a loud, "Mind the first step, darling." Grillby already pointed it out to you. You step over it without issue. Oh, that's nice, because in the other run-through where we did this, we nearly tripped. I remember that, but Grillby actually gives us a heads up so we don't fall. It looks like you walked into a set, specifically a talk show. There are 2 lustrous pink lounge chairs with yellow throw pillows at the centre of the set. In between them is a black coffee table that blends in with the black tile floor. Behind the chair is a huge monitor that currently shows the silhouette of Mettaton, and across him reads, "Talking with Mettaton." Outside the set, you see a crew of monsters. There are many cameras, computer stations, and even a little buffet off to the side. You recognize one of them. It's Napster Bluke. You smile and wave at him. The ghost's mouth wobbles before they smile back. You notice they have a pair of headphones on, and they are around several microphones. Maybe they manage the sound design. That sounds like a fun job. "Welcome to my show," says Mettaton. "Mettaton, sir." One of the monsters approaches and gives him a wary look. "Change of plans, everyone. Tea time is cancelled." There is a collection of awe from the crew, many hanging their heads. You notice a few of them are wearing shirts with a picture of Mettaton sipping tea, and it reads, "Mettaton knows all the tea." "We have something even better for tonight's show," says Mettaton. "A human. The arena reserved by the Royal Guards this week. We can't host a death match," a bird-like monster protests. "We're not going to make the human fight. That's so boring," says Mettaton. The monsters stare at Mettaton in plain disbelief, and Mettaton puts his hands on his hips and glares. "Are you going to argue with me?" They shake their heads. "Then let's get a move on, everyone! To their places! The show starts in a few minutes, human darling. Go take a seat." You glance at Grillby, uncertain if he can come with you. However, a tall, cat-like monster with brown fur approaches Grillby first. If you want to stand in the back with us." Grillby nods and falls behind the cat. You watch him leave, then go to your seat. You sit in the plush hot chair, and you sink into it. Mettaton sits in the chair opposite of you. He crosses his legs and says, "You must be dying to know why someone so famous has brought you here today." You would like to know what's going on. You weren't currently busy kind of flirting with the fireman only for this one to show up. It's simple, he says. I want to ask you questions. You answer them all without issue or lying, then I will let you go and you're free to leave. Isn't that easy? Think of it as pay me back for helping you. Helping me? How are you helping me? You literally took me from having a moment of alone time with Grillby, talking out in the street. How were you helping me? You were not helping me. You took me away from what I was doing. I was trying to flirt with a fireman and you were getting in the way. That's not helping. That is interfering. How dare you? I don't want to ask you anything. You have no questions. Good, then let's begin. Oh my god. Okay. The crew echoes back with a yes. 3, 2, 1, me, Mettaton explains. The searchlights brighten and several spotlights are placed on you and Mettaton. It becomes difficult to see past the lights. Mettaton shifts in his seat. Hello, everyone, Mettaton says in a cheerful drawl. His voice is adjusted to a pitch lower. He sounds like a radio star now, albeit with a synthetic edge to it. I hope you're all excited for today's episode. We have a special guest, a human, whom I technically may or may not have stolen away from her sweetheart that she was currently trying to woo. Mettaton places one hand on your shoulder and another on your arm. Not just any human. I know many of you have heard a little bit about this human already, especially those with connections to Snowden. Wink. Mettaton winks at the camera. So you know this human is special, a rarity if you will, which is why we'll be using her to answer some of our most pressing questions. Questions not only I have wondered about humanity, but questions you all have sent in. Well, that does sound like fun. You wonder what the monsters will ask you. One thing before we start our question, says Mettaton. As we all know, I have connections everywhere, including with the royal scientist, Dr. Alphys. I asked dear little Alfie to whip me up something fun a few years ago, and I finally get to test it out. Human darling, some of the soul of yours, won't you? You can do it, can't you? Mettaton presses his smile widening. I saw it. It's purple. How did he see my soul, though? How did Mettaton see it? Mettaton wasn't any... He didn't see it, though. He did not. He's lying. He didn't see my soul. My soul didn't pop out of my chest at any point. What the fudge is he talking about? When did he see my soul? Mettaton knows stuff. I know sus of Mettaton. You shake your head. Purple for patience. You have to be to make it that far, right? I chose purple because Grillby's purple. You've never considered your soul color represents some kind of trait. When you think about yourself, your first traits come to mind is... Well, yeah, he does like patience. I mean, we patiently waited for him outside. But he also would probably like loyalty. But yeah, patience. Okay. Surprisingly accurate. You could have always been called a patient woman. Mettaton clasps all four of his hands together. Well, aren't you going to show it? You hesitate. Oh well, you present your soul. Okay. Mettaton gives you a bright smile. Wonderful, darling. Everyone listening in, I'm looking at the human soul right now. It's a very bright purple. Mettaton extends one of the hands and hovers it beneath your soul. His palm lights up a soft pink and you hear some dings. Now, what's your name? You tell me your name. Right, Twinkle. I want you to tell me a lie. Any lie. You tell him the sky is green. At once his whole hand lights up in red and there's an alarm sound. Mettaton looks positively giddy. Okay. So obviously this is going to be the lie detector thing. So we've of course done this with him. I'm guessing what's going to change in this part by here is when we talk about... Yeah, it's going to be when they talk about... When someone asks who you like, I bet you that's what's changed. Okay, so I'm going to have to like go forward with that. I don't know, rom-com, I guess. Okay. It wants questions, honestly... If I see anything that's changed by here, yeah, okay, so this is the same. Here we go. So I'm going to take us down to this part because this is new. You You do your best to answer the questions as they come in. As you talk, your throat starts to dry out and Metatron has someone bring you some water. This carries on until one question catches Metatron's attention. Human, do you love anyone? Metatron glances at Grillby and then looks back at you with a sly smile. Metatron claps his hands together. How dare you? Tell me, darling, is there anyone in Underfell that has caught your attention? You can't help but glance at Grillby. The flame monster makes the half smirk, half smile motion with his mouth. Oh, well, at least he's totally down for it. Look, he knows I'm into him. Nice. He's totally for it. You answer Metatron with a coo, maybe. Oh, you are a delight. Metatron looks out at the crew behind the spotlight. He squints his eyes briefly. Oh, dear, look. It's like we're out of time, Twinkle, darling. Thank you for coming on. You say we're happy to. Such a dear. Metatron pulls your head down and gives you a kiss on top of your head, and it feels like a small static shock. The spotlight and camera turn off, and you rub at the top of your head, your scalp tingling from the kiss. He says, as promised, you are now free to go, although I do recommend looking around the city before you head up. You smile and say you will. Metatron winks at you. Break a leg, darling. Stay safe. Yep, you'll stay safe. You and Grillby are escorted out of the studio. Once outside, your eyes need a few seconds to readjust to the dim light. Even with Grillby's flames at your side, the city has significantly darkened. You look at him with a smile. Clear response back there, he says. His voice cracks like a log over a flame. It tickles your ear. Are you trying to start something, human? Is he against it? Not out of principle, he says. But you're leaving. What's the point? You do intend to exit Underfell, but you also intend to return. You don't want to say goodbye to anyone. Grillby studies you. Intentions do not guarantee action, he says. Oh my god. You beckon with your finger for him to bend down and he'd... Oh my god. Kiss him sweet on the... Do we go sweet or do we go spicy? I mean, I could totally see B1 down for spicy. I'm saving. We're going for spicy. You grip both sides of his face to ensure your aim is accurate as you press your lips against his mouth. The moment your lips make contact, they tingle like sunburn. It quickly turns into a pleasant burning sensation. You release him and pull away, happy with what you've done. You move to step back, but you find a hot arm has slipped around your waist. You are pressed into Grillby's chest. Oh my god! He uses his other hand to grip the back of your neck. Oh my goodness gracious me. He drags his thumb forward and presses into your thumb to tilt your head. Oh god. Your head back. Good girl, he says, his voice cracking like, oh my goodness gracious me. Oh my, this is getting fiery, isn't it? Oh dear. His voice crackles like splintering firewood. The flames from his body flicker brightly around him. The heat and magic rolls off him, seeping into you and making you shiver. You hadn't even realized you were cold until you found yourself in the arms of a fire monster. Oh. He turns your head to the side and bursts down to a whisper. How about a treat? The way he breathes that in your neck makes you shiver. A treat? Oh my goodness. There's a pinching sensation on the side of your neck, along with that pleasant burn that comes from his flame. Grillby nuzzles his way up your neck, pressing his mouth against your sensitive skin in a trail of kisses before he settles on your lips. Oh my god! The two of you sink into each other as you kiss. It's a long, hot, magical moment. Oh my god, it's getting hot in here. And it's over far too soon as he pulls back. You are left dizzy. Dizzy-headed because you forgot to breathe. If you come back, he says, we can pick up from where we left off. Oh god, you are definitely coming back. He kisses your forehead and steps away from you. Fully. Good girl. You watch him walk away. His flames, several shades lighter than before. You grin to yourself, pleased with what you've done. You're now free to explore the city. Oh my god. Okay. Well then. Oh my gosh. That just happened? Okay. I will be back when we're back with Grillby. Yeah. Oh god. Oh my. Be sweet and go for cheek. You quickly, as you stretched up and peck his cheek, you then move to pull away, but you find a hot arm has slipped around your waist. You are pressed into Grillby. He uses his other hand to grip the back of your neck. He drags his thumb forward and presses into your thumb to tilt your head up. Cute, he says, his voice crackling like a splintering firewood. The flames from his body flicker brightly around him. The heat of magic rolls off of him, seeps into and makes you shiver. You finally realize that you were cold until now. You hadn't realized you were cold until now. You found yourself in the arms of a fire monster. You admit to him you are pretty dang cute. He chuckles. You better take responsibility for that, he says. How so? You can't help if you're cute. Like this, he says, as he presses his mouth into yours. Oh my. His fire warms your face and makes your lips tingle like you chug some spicy sauce. It bends pleasantly. You sink into him. The two of you share a long and passionate kiss until he pulls back and you're left dizzy-headed because you forgot to breathe. If you come back, he says, we can pick up from where we left off. You are definitely coming back. He kisses your forehead and steps away from you. Fully. Good girl. Oh my. Well then, let's go see what the other option is. Oh my. We didn't see Grillby again during that chapter, but here of course is the end of the chapter, so I will read this part. You've come so far, you died only 10 times. You didn't die at all in this area, which is good. Grillby hopes you'll come back. We did also go and see Gaster again. We still got the gold chain. Tori saw us on the TV. The dog saw us. They got kicked out because they saw the stick. Sharon is excited to see us, and Dr. Alphys was watching it as well. Okay. Now I'm going to go and deal with Sans. I will be back when I'm done getting killed multiple times with this freaking skeleton. You linger in the elevator. Staying in the elevator won't change anything, but you need a moment to recollect yourself. You've died 175 times. Gosh darn it, Sans. All of Sans' kills have been instantaneous. You've not felt any pain from most of these deaths, but it is disorientating to go through the golden hallway to darkness and back within seconds. You take a deep breath. You run your fingers through your long hair. You step off the elevator and Sans is giving you an odd look. Red beads of sweat covering his forehead, and he wipes them with the back of his right gloved hand. You're... Sans sighs as he clutches his head. Fucking resents! You tell Sans you won't hurt him. He stares at you at a long time, and you see he's visibly tired. As much of a struggle as it's been for you, perhaps it is for him. He's aware the reset is some capacity. Mentally going back in time must be dizzying at the very least. He hasn't attacked you. You tell Sans you won't hurt anyone. He continues to stare at you in silence. You ask him to please give you a chance. If I trust you, and I'm wrong, I ain't just my head on the line, he says. He won't be wrong. Sans looks up at the ceiling. He falls back onto his back and leans back on his arms. He doesn't speak for several minutes. When you realize nothing else will happen, you slowly approach Sans. Hug him. You sit down and pull Sans in a hug. Dumbass, he says, hesitantly patting your back. You pull away and sit beside him. You give him a lopsided smile and say you'd like to be his friend. Freak, he says. Whatever. Do whatever you want. You stay seated beside him. He pulls his hood up so you can no longer see his face. Say, pal? Is the sun really warm? He asks you. Yes. And the stars? You see them? You always see them? At night? Yeah. Sans flops onto his back and he looks exhausted. I guess this was gonna happen one day. At least I'll get a view for I dust. You tell him he won't be dusted. Yeah, okay. He closes his eyes. I'll trust you, Twinkle. You give him a smile, and you sit in silence for a few more minutes until Sans breaks it. He says, knock knock. Who's there? Sar. Sar who? Sorry, he says, and his body is gone in a shimmer of red. You've completed Judgment Hall. Wait, he left? He thought I'd left. Sans didn't to, like, not go face Asgore or anything. He actually left. What the fudge? Gosh darn it. He actually just up and left me? I'd be mad if I wasn't going to romance him next. Okay, so I will be back after we fight Asgore. Because I'm assuming... Actually, what's going to happen when I fight Asgore? Because when I fought Asgore, in Sans' route, Sans comes to the rescue. And when I fought him in Papyrus's route, Papyrus came to the rescue and Sans was with him. But Sans told me to not go face things by myself. He even says it in Papyrus's route, too. What the fudge? Wait, so who... Am I gonna, like... Wait, do I have... What? Oh, I'm so freaking dead then. Oh, well, I'm going to die. At least I die happy. Okay, so let's see. You enter the room. Your purple light illuminates what appears to be a small bedroom. There is one bed pushed off to the side. You see toys scattered around the floor and a toy chest filled to the brim with stuffed animals at the end of the bed. There is a dresser at the back wall, and there are photos lined along it. You step closer to it, intent to look into the pictures, but feel a tug on your sweater. You look behind you. There's nothing there. You frown. You feel something small and cold grasp your hand. You freeze. By the time you turn to look, you see nothing there. But there is something in your hand now. A golden locket. Your violet eyes widen as you realize this is the locket that goes with the chain. You pull the chain out of your pocket, and sure enough, it's a perfect fit for the clasp. Oh, how romantic. The locket felt out of style before you were born, but you've seen them in movies and read about them in books. They're supposed to be used to carry a picture of someone you love, or at least someone who's in your heart. It's a warm sentiment. You hold the locket in your hand, and you can't help but think you'd like to see Grillby inside. That would be nice. Click! There's a clicking sound from the locket. You unfurl your hand and it pops open. Oh, it is Grillby. His flames are several shades lighter than you previously seen. He looks so happy. Your heart warms and you hold the locket close to you. Your lips turn up into a smile. How heartwarming. You're startled from the whisper and you look around, but you don't see anyone. You thank them for the chain and for the locket. You think it's time to leave. The most definitely haunted room now. You head back out into the hall, and we're going to now face Asgore. Let's see who comes to my rescue, or do I fight him alone? There's only one way to find out. Let's go. Here we are. Let's see. You burst through the volley, only the barest hint of your sweater touches the fire, and it's seared off. Asgore spins it round. You tell me you don't want to fight him? That's not up to you, he says. Actually, it is. It is your choice, as it is his. He glares at you. You oversimplify the situation and disregard the truth. This is a kill or be killed world, he points out to you. Your hands may not be stained red, but it is only by sheer luck. No. No, he snorts. It's not by luck. It's by your choice. It's by your determination. You will never harm someone. You unflinchingly meet his gaze. The past cannot be changed, but you are in the present can. Asgore's eyes narrow. It's not a kill or be killed world. It's a save or be saved world. And that includes Asgore. You see the bear's flinch in his shoulders. It's gripping his trident tightens. You wax a nice tale, however, it is useless in reality. There is no hope for change, not for anyone. You shake your head. That's not true. And why do you think that? You give him a grin. Because you were already talking to him. If there was truly no hope, he'd never listen to you. He's listening to you because he wants to be saved. You extend your hand to him. It is not too late. It is never too late. And he can make peace now. He can lead his kingdom to the surface and give them happiness. Ha! King Asgore looks at your hand with an unreadable expression. He raises his chin and lowers his head. He will no longer meet your gaze. I cannot, he says. Goodbye, Twinkle. He conjures a second trident and throws it at you, but he never touches you. Oh God. A pillar of flames erupts from the ground as is thrown and knocks it off course. You and Asgore looking surprised as Tori marches into the room. The goat monster's golden eyes are burning with ferocity, and she's not alone. You see many monsters behind her. The first monster you spot is Grillby, who casually walks behind her. It's impossible to miss him from the way his flames draw attention. You see Frogget and Napsaploot, the dogs from Snowdon, Shiren, the children you met a waterfall, Mettaton and his staff, the royal guards, with Papyrus and Di at the lead, and even Sans is there. Oh my god, everyone is there! Because if you think about it, Snowdon is such a close community, and they all meet in Grillby's. There are so many of them. They fill up the room and surround you all. Enough is enough, says Tori. Tori? King Askel stares at her in blatant disbelief. You came back to me? No, she coldly rebuffs. I came for the human, for Twinkle. She raises her chin and glowers down at Askel. And for monster kind, you take one step towards that woman and you will have to face me. And me, adds Papyrus. Grillby folds his arm across his chest. The dogs circle beside him and snarl, each holding up a flame stick. Shiren sings. It's over, says Sans. He gives a sharp-toothed grin. We're tired of this, so unless you want to have a hell of a time. Askel looks at the monsters around him. Not only them, says a voice that feels familiar to you. The monsters part ways to make room for a new monster. He's a goat monster with bright golden eyes and red pupils like Tori and Askel. Trailing behind him is Dr. Alphys. Ezreal? Toriel gasps. Oh, hi, says Ezreal. I wasn't expecting to see you here, Mother. Tori rushes to him and immediately hugs him. Ezreal? King Askel's expression darkens to wariness. Is that truly you? It is, he says awkwardly, patting Tori's back. I see you still haven't trimmed that awful beard of yours. Askel's eyes widen and he suddenly grins and strives forward. My boy! My son! One awkward family hug at a time, Ezreal complains, and besides, you were about to attack my friend. Friend? You look between Azrael and Dr. Alphys. Wait, Flowey? Howdy, Twinkle, says Ezreal. He gives you a grin. Glad to see you're okay. You are okay, right? Yes, you run to hug him. Tori notices and opens up her arms to let you also hug Ezreal. Ezreal hugs you both. You seem a little singed. Are you sure you're okay? Yep, good, says Ezreal. Now, if you and Mother will excuse me, I need to talk to Father. Tori squeezes Ezreal, and she reluctantly lets him go. You also let go. Ezreal steps closer to his father, King Askel. Father, it is time this feud with humanity comes to an end. It's time the monsters return to the surface. Ezreal, no! Ezreal cuts him off. This isn't an argument or something for debate. You won't win this. You can't win this. I understand. I understand the war changed you. I know those memories are hard to let go, but this time, don't stop us. Twinkle has shown us that humans and monsters can be friends again. Let us try. Askel stares at Ezreal, and he smiles faintly. I cannot win this. Well, no, because I've got Grillby and his army of dogs with fire sticks. I do not want to fight that, if I'm honest. Twinkle, you said this world does not need to be killed or be killed. Do you truly believe that? You meet his gaze. Yes, you do. It is not kill or be killed. It is save or be saved. You smile at Askel, and it's time for him to be saved now. Then so it shall be, he utters quietly and drops his trident. Can I point out, if Ezreal hadn't come in here and literally told him, no, you're gonna goddamn listen, you're gonna do what I say, Dad, would he have actually fought everyone? See? I'm very curious, because would he? Would he have fought Tori? Because I imagine he probably would have fought everybody else. That he would have, reluctantly fought everyone else if Tori and Ezreal hadn't shown up. Possibly. While he's not smiling, you think he's happy, and only a couple of things left to do. You tug on Ezreal's sleeves. He looks over you and smiles. Yes, my friend? You tell him you need to check up on a friend, and you'll be right back. Okay, so I will be right back as well. Okay, so now that we've taken down the barrier, let's take them all to the surface, shall we? You feel strong enough to walk as soon as you smell the fresh air. Ezreal gently sets you down. He keeps a paw on your shoulder in case you need help. You are not left alone with your friend for much longer. Grillby casually walks up beside you two. Grillby pulls off his jacket and offers it to you. You gracefully slip it on, happy to have something covering the numerous tears in your sweater. The two of you silently stare at one another. Goes Ezreal. I think I should go talk to my mom. See you, Twinkle. Yep, see you later for the Ezreal. You glance up at Grillby and smile. He seems amused by you. You ask him if he still wants to wait for you to come back. A mouth foams across the flames. Cheeky girl. You smirk. You can always walk back down. You can always walk down and back up the mountain if he wants to wait. He grabs both sides of your face and presses fire against your lips. Oh my goodness. It tingles pleasantly. Grillby pulls away before you have a chance to really enjoy yourself. Rude. He takes your hand and tugs you along. The two of you join the dog monsters from Snowdon, who happily greet you with yips and tail wags. As a group, the monsters leave the mountain. It is dark outside, yet brightening with every second. You hear gasps from the monsters. All around you, you hear choked back sobs. You hear oohs and ahs and whimpers and hiccups. You hear them whispering and speaking to one another as they all exit the underground to stand on a ledge overlooking the mountain. The barrier that had been at the cave entrance. There is a wide overlook that showcases the forest at the bottom of the hill and the city that rests at the edge of the forest. Tall skyscrapers climb into the sky, each building bright with light. The monsters notice and point to look at it, their voices getting louder, and then they all go silent when the first crack of light peeks out from the horizon. No one speaks, and no one moves. It is the first sunrise, and they watch it in complete silence. When you look around, you see many of them openly crying. Their tears falling down their face. Some have collapsed to their knees, holding their hands over their mouths to keep from weeping louder. You smile, your own eyes burning. Yes, this is it. It's not kill or be killed world. It's a save or be saved world, and you saved them. True happy ending. Grillby's route. It really seems like everything is working out for the best. Your journey, your struggle, none of it was in vain. You saved them. All of them. And you didn't make it out of it alone. The Gaster family moved to the surface, right next door to you, and your new home. As a VIP ambassador, you had to move into a magically secure home of your choosing in the city. You and the Gasters see each other daily. You are on your way to become fast friends with them. And of course you also see Grillby very often. The fire monster opened a bar on the surface and named it Fellbees. It became an immediate hit with the humans who are actually fascinated by monster food and monster booze, enough to the point where he only opens it 3 days in a week and is able to make more than enough for those sales. Although you privately think the exclusivity of it contributes to its popularity. Where most humans have to make a reservation or wait in a long line to get in, you are always welcome, perks of dating the owner. Grillby, you've come to notice, doesn't care much for talking. He thinks mouths can be put to better use. Not that you're complaining. Most of the time, he and the gases aren't the only new constraints in your day-to-day. Most notably, Ezra has become a huge part of your life. He became the new king of monsters and helps you integrate the two societies. You are dear friends, at work and outside of it. He also gives the second best hugs. Grillby wins first place by default. You spend time with Tori and Asgore every so often. Tori breaks you a special pie and loves to give you hugs. You hung out with Papyrus and Nandai, and you're semi-regular on Metatron's new show on the surface. You attend all of Tyron's concerts and are the first to buy her new album. You visit the school in the city where the monster kids started to attend. They enthusiastically introduced you to their new human friends. You had to talk them out of jumping off of another waterfall with their new friends multiple times. You meet with all the dogs from Snowdon every month for a game of poker, which you suck at a lot. Grillby is taking upon himself to recite this. Everything is how it should be. Everyone is happy, and you're the reason for it. Oh, the end. Thank you, Twinkle. Thank you for falling into Underfell. Thank you for showing them kindness. Thank you for staying determined, and thank you for being you. The end. I so would have loved to have seen Grillby's reaction, though, to Sans in Judgment Hall, reprimanding him and telling him he can't have any mustard until he pays off his tab or something. That was so good. Grillby is so spicy, though. My goodness. Well then, I will go off to another act and I will see you guys with another episode. I don't know who I'm going to record next, but yeah, I will be back.